wondered about the profound journey that unfolds when you stand in front of a mirror and look at yourself? My name is Adiola Kingsley James, and today we're going to be delving into the transformative practice of the mirror work and how powerful it is. Now, before we dive into it, I'm going to ask you another question. What if a simple reflection of yourself could unlock the depths of your soul? So many years ago, when I say many years ago, it would seem like 20 years ago, but a couple of years ago, I had somebody that I had to do a course with. Her name is Lisa Nichols. I depended so much, let me throw that in as well, on how people perceived me. And I expected so much for people to keep validating me, right? I would dress up and expect other people to tell me I look beautiful when I didn't even tell myself I look beautiful. And so, we do these things, right? So you're expecting other people to tell you well done after doing something great and you didn't do it. And Lisa taught me how to practice the mirror work. Now, she had 4 sentences that came with this mirror work. And the 4 sentences, I'll share them quickly. What I love about you is, what I am proud of you for is, what I forgive you for is, and what I commit to you to do is. Those are the 4 sentences. What I love about you is, what I'm proud of you for is, what I forgive you for is, and what I commit to you to do is. Now, she asked me to write my name in front of all these sentences, and then also said to look for 7 things I was proud of myself for, 7 things I love myself for, 7 things I forgave myself for, and 7 things I committed to myself to do to me. And not only this, she said, stand in front of your mirror and repeat these things to yourself. Let it come from you to you. Now, what I used to think was that I wanted other people to validate me. But what this mirror work was teaching me was me validating myself, right? And I know we were not taught this as children. And, anyways, our parents didn't know better. So let me not even bother with that. And so I started this practice. I remember one day I was making up. I think I just finished making up, and my husband and I were in the bathroom. I just finished making up, and I looked at myself and I was like, "Hi, see this hot babe." And so my husband looked at me and said, "What are you saying?" I said, "Oh, I'm hailing myself." And it felt so strange to him because he had never heard me say it. He didn't know that I'd done this thing for 90 days. I mean, I practice this thing every day, morning and night, every day. In the morning, when I wake up, the first thing I do is go into my bathroom. I had a private bathroom, so I had my post-it notes all over, and it was in front of my mirror. So there was no way I would do it without my mirror. And I'll stand in front of the mirror and say this to myself. I didn't know then that I was inscribing and putting it into my subconscious mind how I felt about myself. And I stopped desiring it from anybody else, because now the praise that I was giving to myself was what was so empowering. And because it came from me to me, I believed it. Most times, even when it came from other people, because I didn't believe it, I didn't believe them. And so this mirror work, this exercise that Lisa taught me, I think was one of the first things that honestly took me from level 1 to level 3. Honestly, it was such a game changer for me. And I remember in her time as well, I think she had gone to the hospital and they diagnosed her clinically depressed. And she told the doctor, give me 30 days. If I come back and I'm still posing the same symptoms, then you can put me on pills. And she went home, and in 30 days when she came back, the doctor said to her, teach me what you have been doing because I think I need to learn it too. That's how powerful the mirror work is. Okay? It's such a beautiful tool. Now, I want you to imagine standing in front of your mirror. During any challenge at all, confront the person that you're looking at. I promise you, I remember when I came to forgiving myself, I used to cry. because I wrote things from my heart that I felt I mean, one of the things I wrote was, I forgive myself for dimming my light so that other people will feel comfortable around me. And then one of my commitments was that I will shine my light regardless. And if anybody had a problem with it, they should wear sunglasses. How about that? So it was one of those very vulnerable moments for me. So, but I was standing for. In fact, at some point, I started to do it without clothes, because also, every time we stand in front of a mirror, what are the things we see about ourselves? What we see are all the things that are not working. See my big breast, see my big stomach, see my big nose, my big eye, my big thighs. But we don't look at those same breasts and say, 4 children. It gave life to 4 children, and thank it. So I started to do this. How many of us as women have sat down and looked at our vaginas? Do you even know what your clitoris looks like? Because we don't look at ourselves. They shamed us as children sexually. So if you touched yourself, they will beat you, not knowing that it's a way of you actually knowing yourself. How do you even know how other people can please you when you don't even know yourself? I've never seen a man stand, well, maybe a couple of, I'll say, men that are very into themselves, and we used to call them vain men, but I know better now, that will sit and stand in front of a mirror and look at their entire bodies and look at their genitals and, feel strong. How many people do that? That's what your mirror exercise and mirror work will do for you. Because when you start to get empowered from within, then it starts to show on the without. So the mirror work for me is fantastic. It helps with self-reflection. And let me give you a few points. So the mirror work offers a dedicated space for self-reflection. You can look at yourself and thank yourself. Thank your body for being a useful tool. Let's even start from there. Thank your hands that they're moving and functional. Thank your legs that they carry you. And then tell yourself the things you love about yourself. Don't wait for your father to say to you, or your mother, or your husband, or your wife, or your friends. Start to tell yourself. And the truth is that you will need it less and less from other people. Another thing is, you can, once again, positive affirmations. You can stand in front of your mirror and say positive things to yourself. See my beautiful skin, silk skin. If I hear myself in front of you, you'll be tired of me. You think I'm the vainest of them all. But you can call it. I remember somebody saying to me, "You have beautiful skin." I said, "I know." She said, "Is that modest?" I said, "My sister, I know I have beautiful skin, but thank you for recognizing the glory upon me." You know how many people say that? We shy away from it. Even when people say you look beautiful, you're like, I like this dress. This dress that I've had for 10 years, we can't even accept praise. We can't even accept it. So you've got to learn how to praise yourself. Another thing is, it helps you build self-love. When you love yourself and you thank yourself for being yourself, then you start to love yourself more. Another thing is, it boosts your confidence. Like I said, you start to need it less and less from other people and more from yourself. And you know the truth? The purest praise that you can receive is the praise that comes from you to you. And it has no agenda. When you say, "I've got beautiful skin," you're not thinking, "Oh, could it not be?" But when somebody says it to you, maybe I use this example of when your husband tells you you're a great wife, you have just done something, right? Or your daughter says, "Mommy, you're a fantastic mother." It's because you just bought her biscuits, right? So it's not as if it's a negative thing or intention underneath it. It's just that the praise that comes from you to you is the purest praise you can ever receive. See babies, right? Babies love themselves so much that when they poo, they can put their hand inside the poo and eat it. Babies put their toes in their mouth and they play with it. They love themselves so much. But where did we lose it? We lost it along the way when the labels started coming and the limitations started coming. And people started saying, "You can't do this, you're not good enough, you're not wise enough, you're not brilliant enough, olodo," all those things that they started to call us. And so we started to distance ourselves from ourselves more and more because we started to believe them more and more. But change that today. Now, what if the relationship you have with yourself also sets the tone for other aspects of your life? Have you thought about it that way? That the way you love yourself or you relate with yourself will set the tone for the way other people relate with you. The truth is, it does. Because if you treat yourself badly, you will teach other people how to treat you badly. So today, what are we going to do differently? I created a pledge, and it's a pledge that I use, that I created for myself, and I'm going to share that pledge with you. So after you have done your 7 things you love about yourself, 7 things you're proud of yourself for, 7 things you commit yourself to do, and 7 things you forgive yourself for, stand and raise up your hand, and I'm going to share my pledge with you in front of your mirror and say this to yourself. I pledge to myself, the extraordinary being that I am, to be unwaveringly faithful, loyal, and honest to my inner radiance, beauty, and intuition. As I embrace my uniqueness, I serve my purpose with boundless strength, defending the unity of my body, heart, and soul, upholding the honor and glory of my authentic self. So help me God, as I embark on a journey of inspired self-love, self-discovery, and self-mastery. Now, I've got this deep dive class that I do every Tuesdays. If this video has done anything for you at all, I think you want to join me on Tuesdays. It's for 90 minutes. And there you get more of me. I bring my raw self, let me put it that way. I share a lot of the things that have happened to me, how I've learned, and the things that I do differently. Click on the link below so that you can register and join us starting February. Okay? Now, thank you for joining us today. My name once again is Adiola Kingsley James. Stay inspired, stay connected, and keep reflecting on the beautiful soul that you truly are. Love and light.